Hello and welcome to Sunday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic and the return of an old friend to the channel in the form of Botaku. Now, I don't remember when I last did a Botaku puzzle. It must be a couple of years at least. But my impression of Botaku is that he's some sort of mad professor type genius. Those early puzzles have resonated through the years with me, and in fact, after yesterday's puzzle by Ard van der Wetering, which had an incredibly short rule set, we have another ludicrously short rule set today. And in fact, if you stare at this grid for even a moment, you will realise that I've been given 10 given digits. I mean, the title of this video just, speaks for itself. The Sudoku with 10 given digits. It's got to be that because it's so rare for me to face a puzzle with any given digits, let alone 10. But I'll read you the rules and then we can do a couple of announcements. But you can be thinking about how you might start this puzzle, which is called 9 hours, 9 pins, 9 doors. Now, I confess this meant very little to me. I typed in 9 hours 9 into Google, and Google suggested 9 hours 9 persons 9 doors, which I think is a Nintendo game from about 2009. I did not know this, and I don't know how this rule set relates to that game in any way at all, I'm afraid, so I will rely on the learned viewers to enlighten me. But the rules are just as follows. Normal Sudoku rules apply. For each number 1 to 9, there must be at least one set of 3 identical digits in a straight line of adjacent cells somewhere in the grid, which is fascinating. I mean, it's fascinating. Obviously, those 3 cells cannot be in the same row or column of a Sudoku, so there's going to have to be some diagonalage to this, to how this will work, and that's all the rules. Testers say this is a quite approachable puzzle actually as well, and they said it's extremely beautiful. So this is what we're going to be faced with when we actually start solving in a moment or two's time. Before we do that, what can I tell you? Let me start by saying the deadline has passed now. For the Jewels of Osiris Sudoku hunt, which was our May monthly reward over on Patreon. So we will announce the winners shortly, and also I'll be reading through some of the best entries we received. Very well done to all those of you who managed to complete the hunt. I know it was a challenge, but you've got to read the whole novel, and we know from the feedback that you've enjoyed that. So it's fantastic stuff from DiMono, of course, to create that hunt for us. Other things on Patreon, the big thing that's really live at the moment is the kids Sudoku hunt, and we're getting so many emails from parents of children who they've introduced to variant Sudoku with this hunt, and the kids are really enjoying it. So that's fantastic to hear. So if you are a patron, do try that out on your children, and it might be the start of a brand new and rather wonderful hobby. In other news, what can I tell you? I've got some birthdays to do. I'm going to start with Lara over there in Switzerland. Your boyfriend Fabian wrote to us, and he insisted that today is a day when there's going to be lots of chocolate cake. You've turned 24, I believe, and in fact Fabian also very gallantly admitted that although he only got Lara into Sudoku a few months ago, she's already brilliant and solves very hard puzzles much more quickly than he does. So Lara, I hope you've got into the channel a bit. It sounds like it's the right place for you, and of course I hope you have an absolutely brilliant birthday, and it sounds like Maverick is giving you a fly past as well. And now next, another birthday over in Canada this time, slightly further away, to Steve. Your daughter Constance wrote to us, and Constance I think is 15 herself, but she said that Steve, you might appreciate a shout out today, so many happy returns. I hope you have a good one, with cake of course. And that is all that's all the news. That is all the news we get to solve relatively early on in a video. I don't think I need to do the rules again. They're fairly straightforward. Do have a go at the puzzle. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. That will take you to a web page that looks identical to this one, where you can play the puzzle on whichever device takes your fancy. I'm going to restart to check my clock is going, and it is. And now I get to play. Let's get cracking. Right, so now what I remember about Botaku is that Botaku does he has sort of a mastery of geometry, and I'm wondering whether what we've got to do is to try and actually find spots in the grid where we can put three of the same digits in adjacent cells. Because, I mean, well, that's not going to work, is it? We actually are going to have to span, because the digits are the same, we need to span 3 different boxes of the Sudoku. So actually that would work. And then, I suppose, because Sudoku is a rotationally symmetrical puzzle, yeah, we're going to have to... Well, it's tricky, actually. Okay, I mean, that is a possibility. Let's just highlight that in green for a moment. But, of course, that means that's a possibility as well. But if this was a possibility, because that's a 7, we could see those 3 would all have to be 7. Oh, that one, which would ordinarily be a possibility for three digits in adjacent cells the same, that can't work because the 6 and the 7 are clearly not the same digit. Yeah, so what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to start off by trying to spot where we can potentially put... Yeah, there. I could put one there. Okay, so by symmetry, I could put one there. Let's do some there. These would have to be 8 if they were allowed. I'm going to run out of colours, aren't I? I'll go light green there. So now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But these middle ones are a bit sullied because what I can't do is say make these 7 and then make green 7 because I'll end up with 2 7s in box 5. So I think this central diamond is more restricted. But I need many more. I need many more. Oh, okay, that one. Yes, okay, and there's the equivalent there, look. There's actually loads of these. Alright, I'm run out of colours. I'm going to have to do this some other way. What about using lines? I could do maybe black lines even. Let's do that. That's one possibility, isn't it? And by symmetry, that's going to be a possibility. But these amount to one possibility because obviously I can't count this 3-cell sequence as a different one to that one because if I repeat the digits, I'm going to have too many digits of the same sort in row 7, 8, and box 8. But presumably I can just mirror that sequence there. That one could be useful, couldn't it? Look, that one's not going to work at all. And then, oh, whoopsie. And there, we're drawing a very pretty pattern. Right, so, okay, so what I'm seeing now is that these lines, I mean, this top one is impossible anyway, but if we look at this line, that can only deliver me one sequence because whatever I make this digit, if I don't know what I could legit, let's make it a 9. I don't think I've got any given 9s in the grid. So if I make all those 9, this sequence now obviously can't be any other digit but 9, but it can't also be 9 because I'd repeat the 9. So what we learn is that this arrow tip is good for one digit's 3-cell sequence. So these arrow tips are they're a maximum of 4, except this top one doesn't work at all. So they're actually a maximum of 3 different digits we can do on the arrow tips. So we've got the outer diamond, which is 4. We've got the arrow tips, which is another 3, which is 7. Yes, okay. And now let's come down to the bottom where we can immediately rule out purple. Purple can't work because it's got a 7 and a 6 in it. And we've got potentially, in theory at least, 3 different colours here. But you can see that if whatever we made this one, if we made that the same digit, let's make those 9s, that would interfere with the ability of yellow to be anything other than 9 and blue to be anything other than 9. And therefore that sequence would take away, would make this diamond, or this sequence of 7 cells, only able to do one triple. And that's not enough on the basis that I haven't missed some other geometry that would give rise to a 3-cell sequence. So I'm just going to take a moment and stare at this grid. No, it's got to be. We're always looking at cells that start in the middle, I think, of their 3x3 box. And we have effectively found all of those sequences. So we actually now know we can take green out because we need this central diamond to deliver. We needed this diamond here, I'll highlight all the squares again, that diamond to deliver 2 different sequences. This one obviously couldn't be 1, that one would only allow us to put one digit on the inner diamond. So we can now take out this arrow tip because that's totally wrong. But we need each arrow to produce 1. But we don't. What we don't know, I was about to put right 1s into there, but actually it could be that sequence, couldn't it? So we don't know how this arrow tip works. We just know one side of it has a 3-cell sequence. Right, but the 8 needs to account for a sequence. So this is a sequence. The 7 needs to account for a sequence. That's a sequence. Which sequence can be 4? We've got we've got 3 4s in the grid, so you can immediately see any coloured sequence that can see a 4 in any of its 3 positions cannot be. So this one's out. So in fact, let's look at the colours first. This is out. No, the blue could be. Okay, that's annoying. So the blue could be. This arrow can't be because both of its ends see a 4. This. Oh, look, right, so it is blue, because none of the arrows can have a 4 on them as a 3-cell sequence. This is really interesting. That's an extremely loud aeroplane going past. So we've got 4, 7, and 8 now in the grid. So we need 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 9. What else is restricted? Well, 6, look. This 6, oh I see, 6 and 5. I'm just thinking that 5 and 6 see the 3 arrow tips. And 3. Yes. So if 3, 5 and 6 see the arrow tips, 3, 5 and 6 cannot be a 3-cell sequence on an arrow at all. So 3, 5, 6 must be in the colours, which are the only other place we could put them. And 6 sees grey and green. So 6 goes at the top. 5 could be either actually. 3, all right, 3 sees grey. Okay, so 3 must be green. 5 must be grey. And we're left with 1, 2, and 9. So 1, 2, and 9 are a triple on these arrow tips because we know that they must. For example, this is probably going to be a sequence of 3 1s, isn't it? But one of them must have a sequence of 3 2s. One of them must have a sequence of 3 9s. So we must fill these digits, and we get an 8 in the middle box as a result of that because we've not put 8 in here. So 8 is in one of those squares. Now, how do we do this then? This square cannot be a 2. We haven't got any given 9s. So I don't think... I don't see it. There's going to have to be something to do with the 1 and the 2, I think, that we're actually given. Okay, well this given 2... This is a weird pencil mark I'm about to propose. But this given 2, it sees that cell on the bottom arrow, and it sees this cell on the right-hand arrow. But we know one of these has a sequence of 3 2s on it, so it can't be that cannot be a sequence of 3 2s, and that cannot be a sequence of 3 2s. So the sequence of 3 2s, I don't know which one of these it is, but it's either that sequence or that sequence, which means there is a 2 in one of those 2 cells and a 2 in one of those 2 cells. We have got opportunities for 3s in corners, you know, as well. I might actually... Maybe this is a sensible idea, to fully colour the digits that I've actually got so that I can see the sequences more clearly. Has that helped? Probably not. No, it has a bit. That's a 4 in the corner from nowhere. We'll take advantage of that. Okay, what can we do with this newfound knowledge? I think there's loads of pencil marks we can do. We can put 7s into these squares. We can put 5 and 7 down there. So that's a 5-7 pair. So this is nearly. I thought that might do something for our arrow, but no, it doesn't. We just don't have enough 1s and 9s in the grid, do we? 5 is also there. That's a 5-7 pair as well. So we've got 5s. Oh, well, that's yeah, that's beautiful. Okay, so it was this sequence we needed to look at, because this square is now a 5 or 7 in the finished grid. And it's not the same as this digit. So on this arrow, this is not a 3-cell sequence. So this is a 3-cell sequence, and that's a 1. So we get the 1s. We can knock 1 out of this. This is a 2-9 pair. So some way or other... Right, well look, this one is not a 2 or a 9. So this sequence goes down here. So these 2 squares are from 2 or 9. Those are all the same digit. Yeah, I've got purple available, I'm now seeing. So they're all the same. They're either all 2s or they're all 9s. Oh yeah, look at this column. There's a 2-9 pair now. Well, it's probably been there for ages, but that means we need 1s and 3s, and the 3 must be at the top. Whoa, I wanted to put a 3 in there, so that's 3, that's 1. So 1 is, so this 1 is giving me the 9 at the top of the grid. These 2 digits now are a 1-8 pair at the top of column 5. So we need 2, 6 and 9 at the bottom. What about this row? 3, 8 and 9. I'm sure we can do something with that. Let's have a check. No, we can't. I was hoping at least... Well, hang on. No, because we still don't know which direction this one goes in, I think. I think it's still got both options available to it. What about this row? We need 2, 4 and 9. So that's a 2 or a 9. Okay. And oh, come on, Simon, do some Sudoku, man. You're so useless at Sudoku. We could... No, I was about to say we can get 1 down there. We certainly can't. Oh, one might be... 1 is in one of those 2 cells. So if this was a 1, we would know this line had to go up here, wouldn't we? Because it could... If this is a 1, it can't be the same as this digit. Oh, no, it's no, right, okay, here we go. Here we go. Right. That digit, where does it go in that box? Well, it goes there. Those are the same digit. Let's use the pen tool, because this digit, just by Sudoku, goes there. And that means this digit is not A. And if that digit is not A, this sequence goes downwards here. So this is now, these 2 squares have to be from 2 and 9. Whoopsie. Now, which means this square can't be a 1. So that's something. So now we get a 1 here by our old friend Sudoku. Never let it be said that I don't give Sudoku its credit. I've got a 249 triple in this box. Where's that come from? So these squares, oh, hang on. I was about to write a 4 in here. That's most certainly not correct. These squares are 3 and 6. Oh, I can't do that. Okay, so these squares are from 2, 8, 9. Oh, bobbins. Okay, all right. So I'm still no nearer to understanding how this works. I tell you what I could do though. I could remove the lines where they don't apply, so that I don't get tempted to look at them. Right. Okay. I'm now seeing I've got a 2, 9 pair in row 7, which means I need 5, 7. And 6 again. So so 6 in this row is forced. That's got to go here, which means I get a 6 and a 3. So now 3 is in one of 2 places in the bottom. No. Ooh, actually, hang on. What's going on with 3 up here? Or even... No, 6. That's better. Where does 6 go in box 3? If I double-click the 6s, it might be clearer. Look, it's got to go there. And that's going to give me a 1 as well, which gives me the 1 and the 8. Now, has that done some magic? I'm going to highlight the 8s. 3s, what colour were 3s? Green. 9s, oh, I haven't got 9s yet. 2s, I haven't got 2s, of course. And 1s, I don't think they ever earned themselves a colour. We could make them, oh, fluorescent green. I've not put that in. I've got all the 1s. Okay, so, right, well, look at this row now. Still got this 2, 9 pair, so this square, oh, bobbins, it's 5 or 7, it's not resolved. Something must be resolved here. What is it? Maybe, ooh, I don't know. Oh, 3 is now resolved in box 3. Oh, no, I don't get 3 in the corner. No 3s in the corner today. No 3s in the corner. So, although Botaku is a geometry wizard, the 3 in the corner has been avoided. Now, this is a 3. So that's not a 3, I suppose. Okay, so we should look at this box, shouldn't we? 4, 5 and 7. Yeah, look, that's a naked single. That's a 7. This is a 4 in the corner. This is a 5. So we've got 2 4s in the corners. 5s were grey. 7s were yellow. Now, right, look, this... Aha! Here we go. This is a beautiful square, because this is a 2 or a 9, and it's most certainly not a 9. So that's a 2. Which means that that is a 9, and then we can stripe that and stripe this, and that might be useful. What's going on in this column? No, I don't like the look of this. Oh no, it's okay. I suddenly thought I got a clash, but I don't. These are a 2, 4 pair, so that becomes a 9. These become a 2, 8 pair. That is no longer able to be a 3. This square is a 2, using the power of 4 here. And these squares are a 7. Oh, they're 7, 8, and 9, look. So that's not 8, that's not 9. And where should we look now? Have we got any easy wins? The 7 here is nice. That does the 7 and the 5, which does the 5 here. Okay, so probably we need to look along one of these rows, I think. So what about 6, 7, and 9? So the only... well, no, that's not true. What I was about to say is just not true. That is 7 or 9, and that is 6 or 7. No. It's what about, okay, these squares? 2, 7, and 9. No! You rotten thing. Really? Okay, these squares. 5, 7, and 8. Okay, 5 is up there, which does do some work. Good grief, it actually really does work. Hooray. That's a 2. So now we need an 8 at the bottom of this column. So this box should be done, shouldn't it? 2 and 6. Yes, 6, 2. 2, 8. That's 8 now. That's 9, 7, 8 at the top. This is 9, and that's going to be a 7. And now we can double click everything. So these become yellow. No, oh, 9 never got a colour. 8 did get a colour. 2's got a colour. They were purple. 4's always had a colour. So it's just going to be, I think, we could make the 9s. We could make the 9s a colour. Let's make the 9s black. And that is a fully coloured and absolutely beautiful. You found it, it says. 2150. Yes, I did find it. Is that what it says in the game when you do something? I don't know what that means. I don't know what... I found the solution. And very pretty it was too. Absolutely loved that. That was... I mean, that's an example of, I think, a puzzle that I wish we could feature more often on Cracking the Cryptic, but simply puzzles this good don't exist. They don't happen very often. You know, it is an approachable puzzle, but it's got some lovely, lovely logic at the start. It's not terribly complicated, but it's interesting. So you get an interesting Sudoku that you can probably finish, that gives you a lot of pleasure, and it only takes 27 minutes. I mean, there are... you know, what could be better, frankly? Not a lot. Botaku, take a bow. You've earned another one, my friend, after all this time. Thank you very much for sending the puzzle in. It was indeed a delight. And let me know in the comments how you got on with the puzzle. I hope you all had a go, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.